Hello guys, welcome to a nice little tutorial showing you guys how to actually download and install CrackPack from the AtLauncher. A lot of you guys are probably watching this from Action Movie Guys stream. So basically we're going to go ahead and set up a server for the actual mod pack. So this is the AtLauncher website. You go to atlauncher.com. I will have the link to this page in the description below. You want to select downloads up here. Once you have selected downloads up there, you want to go, it'll take you to this screen. What it's actually going to go ahead and do is we're just going to scroll down here to the bottom where it actually has the windows.exe download. Unless you're on Mac, then you're going to select Mac, and if you're on Linux or anything else, you're going to select this one over here. Personally, as you see, I have Windows 8, so we're just going to go ahead and choose the Windows download. It'll take me just a second here, and we'll go ahead and we will install this. So then what we're also going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and create a new folder on our desktop. We are going to name this folder AtLauncher. We do this just because I like keeping things organized. As you can see, we're just going to delete this because it's in my way. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to drag our download into our launcher folder. So now that we have that pulled up there, we'll just go ahead and we'll minimize out the rest of the stuff that I don't need over here. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to launch the AtLauncher. And then it's going to go ahead and it's going to launch the launcher itself. So we're going to go ahead and it's going to get you, once all that fun stuff happens, it's going to put a bunch of folders here. You're going to click on save. It's going to put you into the actual AtLauncher system itself. So once we have this, we're going to go ahead and we are going to, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to select accounts here. Let me just close out of this right now. And once you select accounts, it's going to ask you to sign into your account. As you see, I just closed out of an instance that I currently had pulled open, and we went ahead and we went into the actual instance where I'm already logged in. So I have my user ID and password. Down here it'll switch over to your ID and password and you can move from there. So then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and click on packs over here. Actually, before we get there, we want to select settings. We're going to actually configure the launcher. I'm going to give you the standardized tutorial for how to set this up for most computers. So your initial memory, you want to set this at this 1024. Mine set at 4096, completely different computer. We're setting this up for standard computers. For your maximum memory, you want to set this at about 4096. If you have about 8 gigs of RAM, 4096 would be a good setup for it. You can always, go down to one of these two. Do not go below the 2048. So anywhere from here to here for a standard computer, depending on your RAM. To see how much RAM you have, I'm using Windows 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to the top. I'm going to select on settings and I'm going to click on PC info. If you're using any other version of Windows, if you go to your start menu, you right click on my computer and you select properties, it'll bring up this screen. This will tell you how much RAM you have right here. This setting right here, as you see, I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I got plenty of RAM. And then right here, so once you have these two set, depending on your computer, you want to leave about 2 gigs for Windows to run. So, subtract 2 gigs and then you can do your math from there. And then you want to set your permagen. This should be set to 512. I have mine set higher because I usually run shaders on my packs. And then, so from there, what we're going to go ahead and do, once we have this all set up, you're going to select save. I didn't change anything, so I'm not going to click on save. Then we're going to click on packs over here, and we're going to scroll down to the CrackPack. And we're going to select new instance. The server we're playing on actually is running CrackPack 2.0.3.0 TCP. And then we want to click on install. I'm going to rename mine just because I have another one already set up. And it's going to bring you to this screen once you click install. What I've added into mine is these two right here. Because I like journey maps better than the Designs Minimap. So I have inventory tweaks and journey map selected on mine. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on install. This is going to go ahead and it's going to download everything and it's going to install it. You might get some screens that pop up to tell you to install some things. Just go ahead and install those and then click on I've downloaded this file and it'll move on to the next file. But once you have everything downloaded and installed, you want to go ahead and you want to select OK. And then we're just going to go ahead and go to our instances tab. This is where your instances are going to show up. This is the instance I actually showed. This is the one I play on, but this is the instance I actually just created. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to select play here. And then it takes a minute to load up, usually just a couple minutes. This isn't a very hardcore pack to actually put on. Now if you're running on a slower computer, it will take a little bit longer for it to actually load up. Don't be concerned about seeing the black screen. You might see Minecraft say not responding, things like that. Welcome to Java. You know, make sure you're running the latest version of Java 7 as well. Do not run Java 8 or you will have issues with your pack crashing. If you currently have Java 8, you will need to go and Google how to point your AtLauncher towards the correct version of Java. Mine's currently set up that way. I'm not going to go in and mess around with that. It's not hard to do. I just don't like to mess around with it once I have stuff set up. But as you see, after it goes to the black screen, it's going to come over to this screen here where it's going to tell you the Mojang loading screen. And then once you're on the Mojang loading screen, this part takes just another moment. You're almost done to actually being to the download section of the pack itself. So, you know, it's just something where we go in and we actually... It's initializing all the mods. It's the first time it's launching. After this time it will become a little bit quicker, and I'll show you here in just a moment because I'm not going to load into the server using this one just because when I load back in I'm going to go back to playing. But I just want to show you that this will launch and go back to the main page. And it'll take just a moment longer here for this to actually load up and everything. You also got to realize I'm recording, so my computer's running a little bit slower. And now it's loading all the resources and everything. So this is the final step before it actually takes you over to that final screen. Don't touch anything, just let it go. And as you see, I'm on the actual loading screen here. So I'm going to go ahead and just close out of this. And then I'm going to go and, just for my personal thing, since I'm here, I'm going to delete that one. And I'm going to actually play my launcher. And then while we're waiting for things to happen, we're just going to go ahead and delete that. I have all of this stored somewhere else, so I can delete all that. But then basically what we're doing here is we're just going to wait for this to reload again. This is actually the pack that I play on. I'm going to show you. I just followed the same steps the first time on that, and I'm going to load into the server while you guys are watching. And you guys will be actually able to play on the server. Doesn't take long, doesn't take much to actually do it. But once you're on the server, guys, just to give you a couple explanations, the server is set up so that it will run efficiently. There's some things that you think you should have access to that you're not going to have access to. The reasoning behind that is because you don't need access to it. You don't need access to the teleports through the Sun mini map and all that type of stuff. Just play. But basically, guys, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to wait for this to load up. I'm going to load into the server and show you that it's going to work. It's just about done here. So as you see, every time you load, it's going to go through this same process. So for those of you guys that are streaming, make sure that you preload this before you actually start up your stream. I'm doing this a little bit differently just because of the fact that I am running this for you guys to actually see what it is that I'm doing. A little bit different, but not much. So we're initializing. It should skip over to the loading resources here in just a moment. And there's the resources, reloading resources. And then give it just another moment longer and it'll switch over to the actual pack itself. So that way we can actually play. But as you see here, if I touch anything, even my computer says not responding. But it'll come back and then go into multiplayer, and here's the server. So logging in, I did everything else the same exact way, and as you see, give it a second, there's the server. And just for my personal preference here, turn on my shaders. That's where this is why I turn up my permagen settings. It's because when you're running shaders, you have to turn up your permagen settings so you have enough Java to actually support your shaders. But as you see, guys, you know, it's basically, that is the setup to make sure that you can get onto the server. You know, thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, and hey, have a great day.